Ellers så kan du kopiere alt det der, og så bare lige lægge over i. Jeg kan det.
Yes, can you hear me now? Anyone? Sounds good now. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Yes.
All right. Hi guys. That was really annoying.
We have sound, yay!
Yeah, we have sound. So, and we don't need this fucking thing because that's not working. So sorry about the bad sound. It's just the camera and the sound from the MacBook now. Just same as last time. Because it's yeah, audio is good. That's as long as you can hear what we're saying. I think that's the most important thing. We do have to because we had some. A link you guys are able to follow in our description before, so we're just gonna have to add that to the new video.
Perhaps it's already in the description, the Streamlabs. Probably check the first one.
Probably is not.
Okay.
Alright, just a sec guys, we're still... and where's the YouTube live?
No, it's not a
thing. Right, there it is, live. Alright, video details. Support the stream.
In the description you can see a link to the Streamlabs.
Yes, it should be there now. Yes, there we go. And of course, we decided to do this because it's, yeah, just like everybody else are doing. Support link only yet. All right, I just changed the description and saved it, so it should be working now. But as we were just about to say, we decided to do kind of the same thing that everybody else are doing when they're live streaming, is using Streamlabs, and then later on we're gonna try to use Super Chat and stuff like that as well. But yes, we learned the hard time in the last stream, my birthday stream, that we can't get through all of the nice comments and questions and everything in the chat. So that's why we made it a possibility for you guys to just submit from Streamlabs instead. And yes, isolation party.
Actually, now we're speaking about parties. We have a bottle of bubbles that I actually wanted to drink while we did this,
just for fun. All right. Do you want to get it then? And
I'm always so scared of popping the.
It's popping the bubbles.
The cork.
All right.
Yeah.
So apparently we're going to be drinking alcohol in this stream now. So just brace yourselves. All right, guys. So, and yes, we wanted to in this stream at least have some prepared topics and something to talk about, and it's gonna be TV series, just in general. If you saw our little update, and just what we have been watching, what we grew up watching, what we're watching now, and what we think about the stuff we've been streaming, or not streaming, sorry, reacting to, and yeah, and then hopefully get some input from you guys as well. And we're going to be using the chat to ask you some questions once in a while, so that you can answer us with like one words like yes, no, or the name of something. If we ask you like which of the new Star Wars trilogy movies did you enjoy, then you can type in that or something. So we're going to try and make it interactive at least. How's it working out with the glasses? Are they too distracting? Are there too many lights just reflecting from them? Just want to make sure. Any excuse to drink alcohol? Yeah, I believe there are a lot of people who are in lockdown who who might indulge a little bit because we're not gonna go to work, we're not gonna go out and socialize, and yeah, so might as well. All right, you want me to do this?
Yeah, because I fucking hate this.
All right, this is an ASCII, and if you guys know what it is.
Sorry about the teeth. Sorry.
That was loud. All right. So if any of you guys have anything to drink out there, then we would like to say cheers with you all, and hope that we're going to get through this lockdown safe and healthy and everything. We really hope all of you guys out there are doing well. So here it is, to your health and everybody's. Cheers, guys. Skål in Danish. Skål.
Skål.
Woo! Yeah, that fizzles. All right. Okay, shall we commence with the... sorry, I just there's something about April Fools. Yes. All right. No ASMR for sure. No.
No.
We're not into that. All right. So yes, we wanted to talk a little bit about series and our favorite series, and just yeah, it's what we are, what the channel is about, as you know. So. First off, let me just get through the notes here. We had the hi and welcome, and I told you guys about Super Chat and the way it works. You can ask a question anytime throughout the stream, and we will answer straight away. Anything like it, we know that it costs money to use Streamlabs. We're well aware of that, and we know that especially in these times, not everybody has the means to support online YouTubers and stuff like us, the likes. So we're not expecting anyone to send us a lot of money or anything, but any donations, any support will be very much appreciated. We are also, of course, struggling just like everybody else now, and this YouTube thing and Patreon and what we're doing with the channel, that is pretty much our only the only work that we can do right now. So yeah, there it is. And just with the normal chat, keep it nice and civil. We might ask you some questions, as I said, and that's about it. So let's just dive into the serious stuff. Do you have anything you want to?
I just if I sit and smile or laugh a little bit or giggle or something, it's just because I'm kind of following along with the chat, and some of you say some very funny stuff, and it's of course always nice to see familiar faces. And
yes,
just that you're here, I just wanted to say I'm still so humbled by the amazing support you have given us just now.
Yeah. It really means a lot to us that you guys want to join us for something like this, where we can just talk and hopefully have a good time and try to forget everything that's going on. I do actually want to address something like off the bat before we jump into the fun part. It's about our Patreon and Tiger King. I just put up a video announcement where yeah, I talked about the fact that we want to join in the conversation. We want to talk about Tiger King, and we want to watch it, of course. And if we can do reactions in any way, we want to do that. We are just unfortunately not able to do the normal highlight reactions for YouTube, because they take a long ass time to do. Many hours. For me, it's between 4 and 8 hours, and I spend on each video. So therefore, we thought if we can't do the normal reactions, then at least we can do the Patreon reactions, just the full-length ones. And it seems like some people are getting a little bit mad at us for not putting it out for free, but sorry, we don't have the time to keep doing that and pushing everything else that we're watching. So I wanted to address that a little bit. So for all of you guys out there who are supporting us on Patreon, or who wants to support us on Patreon, are thinking about it, then we're going to start adding Tiger King as soon as possible, full-length reactions, and yeah, hopefully during the next week we're going to be able to upload all 7 episodes as we watch them, because doing the full-length reactions is just way quicker, way quicker. Yes, I think.
Yeah, and if we haven't told you, I've also started to help a little bit with the editing process, and that's why we're trying to get the Tiger King out as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So now you know it's just that, of course, we put a lot of work into this.
Yeah.
And I also started helping along, so so we can give you even more content. And,
yes.
Hopefully with in a faster pace.
Yeah, we are hopefully going to be able to do it faster. Sorry, do it faster, quicker, get more stuff out for you guys, different stuff, and hopefully also gaming streams very soon. We really want to start gaming with you guys, both of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely something that's still to come.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I'm just jumping in here, but
no worries.
I really want to start gaming, make game streams as well, but I'm so afraid of the backlash that usually follows with me being a female gamer. Then I've already felt a lot of. I'm sorry, but I feel a lot of sexism. And so that's why I'm
a little bit nervous
holding back a little bit, because I was actually, I really wanted to, just for funsies, I just wanted to try to start and learn how to play Apex.
Yeah, because I'm playing it. So,
yeah, and just I'm really bad at like first person shooter stuff, but I think it could be funny if anyone could actually look past the fact that I'm going to be like really bad at it, but I'm just so afraid that people will start all of that sexist crap with me. That
hopefully not. Hopefully everybody watching us are decent, nice people who doesn't go into like just because you're a girl you can't play games, la 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 la. That stupid shit. Sorry, someone just asked a question and I just wanted to answer it now that I was talking about editing before. Which show has proven the hardest to edit? And there is a clear winner right there. The Boys. Holy shit, they are very difficult to edit because so much goes on in each episode. They're very long, and everything happens so fast in each episode, and we are reacting to a lot. So those usually they'll take me a couple of days to edit, where I'm working almost full time. That's so that's the hardest one. I just wanted to get that in there.
Yeah, I think if we started to edit Tiger King for YouTube, it would be like a hell as well, because there's so many times we're just like what
the hell is going on? Who's that person now? And what the fuck are they talking about?
Are there even like one single person, normal person there?
Yeah.
Hi, mom.
Hey.
Hi, mom.
Yeah, sorry, it was just Kat's sister who wrote in the chat. We're saying hi from some South Fyn, all of us. So that's Kat's family saying hi. So yeah, hi guys. All right, let's get into the talking about series. And what we want to talk about first is just a nice little chat about what we watched when we grew up, like as children, and then later on, like young teenagers maybe and young adults. But let's start with what were you watching when you grew up? What was the kind of shows or something?
Yeah,
like
well,
that?
Some of the first things I remember watching, and something I still love to watch, is something called The Moomins. It's a Finnish series about these small troll-like beings, and I loved it, and I still love it, and I wish I could live in the Mummidale where they lived, and then I remember watching Pokemon with my sister, And that's also like my love for Pokemon is just still there, definitely. And yeah, I think that's some of the most. I think I remember a little bit about Spider-Man and Batman the animated series, but I was a little bit too young to actually like it. It didn't affect me that much in the same way that I know it has affected you.
Well, yeah, because that was the sort of stuff that I watched a lot growing up. Was Batman the animated series. That's more like my first love when it comes to any kind of series. And yeah, I believe hopefully a lot of you guys have watched that as well. It's a real classic, and it's one that a lot of people really enjoy. And when it comes to Batman and the Joker, just Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, their portrayals or their voice acting in the animated series, and then the Arkham games after that is just the freaking best. Yes. Oh, and my dad is here as well.
Hi, Dad. I also saw your mom somewhere. So hi, Mom, as well.
I'm sure she's there. So yes, I watched that, and then a lot of Cartoon Network. So all the shows on Cartoon Network, in the 90s and the early 2000s. So some of the real crazy stuff like Cow and Chicken. I'm not sure if it's called that in English, but I Am Weasel and the weird stuff like that. And then Dexter's Laboratory and the Powerpuff Girls. Yeah, all of that. So that was kind of the things that I watched, and if there were nothing. Of course, I watched a lot of Star Wars when I was growing up, but we only had the movies back then, so like no Clone Wars or no Rebels or anything like that. So the children growing up now, being able to watch like Star Wars animated series, that must be awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
and one thing I did watch sometimes was the X-Files, and I know that's a little bit mature for a, I don't know, 7-year-old child, but I did love it. I did love it was so nasty sometimes. It was very scary and very gory at some points. And I don't know why, I was just like
Fascinated by
it, yeah, and it's kind of funny seeing how squeamish I am around all that stuff now.
Yeah, I remember my parents watching that as well, and you can probably confirm that now that you're watching that. That my parents, they were watching. I remember them watching X-Files when I was growing up, and I caught a glimpse of some of it sometimes. They would try to explain to me that no, this is not for you. It might look or sound like it's exciting science fiction stuff going on, but it's not for kids. It's not for you. Speaking of watching something way too early, or when you are way too young to be watching it, I started watching South Park at a really early age because I found it funny, and I wanted to, or I've always tried to watch stuff in English and try to learn it very early on. So that's what I tried to get out of South Park as well, I think. But I just got to a point, I think there was like an episode early on with, I don't remember if it was Stan or Kyle who had it, but like one of the guys had like a killer goldfish or something in a bowl, and it just started killing people, and it killed Kenny, of course. And I remember that episode. That was too much for me. I couldn't watch anymore after that, or at least I had to wait until I got a little bit older. Yes. All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's not forget that. Cheers, guys.
I just
Remembered?
I just remembered a couple more TV series I watched a lot. Somebody mentioned Jackie Chan. I watched that. He had like an animated show, and I loved it. They had these talisman, I think it was, and I can't remember the details of it, but I remember I liked it a lot. And also Totally Spies, because, well, I am also a little bit of a girl, and I really loved this whole spy thing, and they had these amazing things, like these amazing weapons, or it was gears and gadgets and all that, and it was usually like a funny lipstick or like a bag or something, and I love that. I will, yeah, well,
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
It's
I didn't have Cartoon Network, so I had to find whatever I watched somewhere else.
yeah. It's thankfully there was a lot of stuff for us to watch when we grew up and we were growing up, and now there's even more. So it's yeah, just piling up all the good content. Yeah, but let's move on from like kind of what we were watching early on to what are we watching now? What have we been watching for a long while? Or let's get into like what our favorite series are. I think that's easier to talk about, and then we won't spiral too much out of control. So yeah, favorite series right now. Do you want to start with that as well?
Yeah, I can. I just think it's such a hard question to answer because there's. I feel like a lot that in many aspects of my life, I feel like everything is very based on what mood I am in and what I feel like my brain has the capacity for at that certain day. So I think I have more like I have favorites in certain genres rather than I have like a favorite because I think the TV series I've watched the most in my life is definitely Scrubs, and it's one I used to gravitate towards like at all times in my life because it has everything, and it's kind of, even though it's kind of mean-spirited, I still think it's kind of heartwarming sometimes.
Be right back.
And yeah, favorite series is definitely depending on mood, and
Is that too much?
no, I think it's fine. It's just now people can see my face a little bit better. Oh no. Yeah, I think, and especially we've seen so much good stuff in the sci-fi department, so it's really hard for me to actually point something out. I think because we have like the classical space opera kind of deal, and there I think The Expanse is really great. And then we have like another kind of sci-fi with like time traveling and stuff, and then of course we have Dark.
Oh yes, we really love that one as well.
Yeah, it's
a lot.
I think that's definitely one of my favorites as well. But then we have like a sci-fi, but more like a thriller, horror vibe, and then it's definitely Stranger Things. So it's really hard for me because it's like.
It's really, really hard. Sorry, I just saw a few people have mentioned Mindhunter as well in the comments, and we watched the first 2 seasons and really, 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 really enjoyed them.
Especially the second season. I mean, I liked the first season, but the second season was just crazy good. I couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah, it's so intriguing. So it's a real shame that they're not, or they're postponed the 3rd season indefinitely. That sucks.
Yeah, and sorry, Firefly. Of course, how could I forget Firefly? But that's more like, I don't know. It's cute. It's definitely a very good series, and if I had to, I don't know. I really liked Firefly, but since it was not really continued. And I don't think it was rounded off well enough, and certain things happened that I won't like say aloud that I cannot forgive. So for me, I think Expanse kind of took over for me, took over the spot. But yeah. Yeah.
It's more the potential in Firefly. You could see like if they had been allowed to continue the series, which would have been freaking awesome, then I think that could really be high up there as like one of the best sci-fi series ever. But since we only got the 1 season and then the movie, it's harder to think of it as a whole series. It's more of an event kind of deal. Yes, sorry. Sonny heard Scrubs and was like, "That's it, I'm out of here." No, I really like Scrubs too. We've watched the entire series together as well. I think we watched it from start to finish. Or not all. We didn't watch season 9, I think.
No, I never watched season 9.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people don't consider it to be a real part of the whole. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Sorry, a lot of questions and they're going by very fast. But for me, like my favorite series, I can definitely get into. Do you wanna?
No, just.
Oh, okay. I can definitely get into that as well. For a long time, my favorite series was Game of Thrones, of course. And it's just even though I don't mind where things ended up story wise, just ultimately in season 8 and everything, it's just the pacing and how they got there, and we've talked about it before. It kind of soured the whole experience for me, and has bumped that series down a little bit for me. But there are still like some of my favorite stuff, favorite. Anything I've watched on any screen from this in Game of Thrones, especially seasons 3 and 4, that was like my absolute favorites. But that was also adapted from book 3, which was the absolute best book. Yes. So and besides Game of Thrones, I've talked about this one quite a few times as well. But Breaking Bad is one of my absolute favorites, and I just love that series so much. And it is a great example of how you round off a series and with the perfect amount of episodes and seasons and everything. I really love that one. And then actually just staying in that lane, Better Call Saul is really creeping up there for me as well. It has totally gotten to it's gotten to a point where it has its own identity, and it's not just a Breaking Bad prequel. It's so much more than that, and the characters therein are just great, especially the new additions with Kim and Nacho. They're just amazing characters. And then we have Firefly as well. You mentioned it.
Yeah.
Which is we talked about it. It's a shame that we weren't able to do more. And then yes, and then Serenity, of course, that's a movie from Firefly, but The Expanse has gotten to be like it has taken over, and that is now my probably my favorite sci-fi series ever, and we can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
And then one last series I want to mention, Fargo.
Yeah, Fargo.
Fargo. We love Fargo. Seasons 1 and 2 in particular.
Especially the second. But it's hard with
seasons 1 and 2. They're really good. So good. It's not that we didn't enjoy season 3. It was a really good season of television as well. It's just that season 1 and 2 they were just perfect. And I think I got really moved by season 2. That was just amazing. And some people have been mentioning Mr. Robot as well. We want to watch Mr. Robot, and we're going to at some point because we know it's sublime. And
I think.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I just want to. Belinda is mentioning Black Sails, and I just want to say that I've watched Black Sails, and it is such an underrated series. There should be more people watching it. It's really good. If you like pirates and pirate stuff, then. Maybe you should try and watch it at some point, and maybe we'll do.
I saw a little bit, like bits and pieces here and there because I was in the same room with someone who actually watched it. So I got a little bit here and there, but and I also wanted to mention Cowboy Bebop because even though it's been such a long time since I saw it last time, but I think that's such an amazing TV series, and I know it's one of the top 100, maybe even in the top 50 of IMDb's best series, like best rated series, and I think that's definitely worth the ranking there. Oh, and
sorry. I just reacted to something here. It's just, as we mentioned up top, this is the first time we're using Streamlabs, and a couple of people have actually already donated to us on Streamlabs and asked a question. So we're just gonna bring it up here on the other computer if I can. Maybe sorry, I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Oh no, what's happening?
Sorry guys, another... okay, just gonna need to get a little bit closer because the text is very small on that computer. But Jemimas donated $5. Thank you so much, Jemimas. And Jemimas had a question. Just joined the stream. Did you mention if you had seen or will see Battlestar Galactica? And yes, we know that is another sci-fi series that is beloved by many people. So we really want to get into that at some point as well. I think once we are done with The Expanse season 4, and we've yeah, in I don't know when, but we will get to it at some point because we love anything sci-fi. We really, that is something that usually is able to get our attention very quickly, is anything sci-fi. And so yeah, Battlestar Galactica is on the list, and we have to watch it at some point. And then we have another another donation from Erdling, ERDLING, $5.40. Yes. And that person said, "Your empathy is an enrichment. I just love rewatching The Expanse with you both." And thank you so much. It really means a lot. It means so much to us. I'm not sure you guys like really understand how much it means to us when you praise our empathy and just our ability to maybe hopefully see things from all angles and perspective, or as many as we possibly can, and try to understand everything that everyone is going through, fictitious or otherwise. And yeah, that we just really appreciate when you guys tell us something like that. It's yeah.
I know I've said this before, but I'm just going to say it again. I had someone in my life who always laughed and pointed fingers at me whenever I cried, and I cry a lot. I mean, you ain't seen nothing. I cry a lot, like a lot. So every time I cried, that person would tell me, I would just like laugh, and not even in like, oh, that's so cute, that's so endearing, but more like, are you crying again? Like it was
in a mocking way.
In a mocking way, yeah, and it really stuck with me, really, that somebody would actually find it so, I mean, find it annoying or find it stupid or something. And it's just like, so I've always tried to hide away my feelings ever since then. And then people actually appreciate me showing my emotions and like my initial response to something. It's just, it's amazing that people appreciate it, especially when I've had that in my past. So thank you so much.
So thank you so much. And I can see Primark Gaming here, one of our regular followers, is telling, like, if you guys are genuine, if you're not in the best mood, you tell us, and you don't put on a show. It makes us feel respected. And thank you. That's we always try to be as real as we possibly can with our reactions and what we say and what we think, and we don't want to put on a show, and we don't want to just react in ways that people will find disingenuous or just not real. And yeah, we want to be real with you guys because we think you deserve it. it's just we try to treat others the way we want to be treated, and if anyone is talking to us, we would want them to talk to us in that way. Sorry, what are you pointing at? Just had 2 surgeries on my back spine at the Mayo Clinic, and your reactions are helping me recover. Oh, Maria Hammond, did that. We're so happy that we can help you with recovering from surgery, and we hope you're okay. And it's not that is getting better. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that got a little bit real.
Yeah, I'm almost crying. Damn.
Right. Let's just cheers once again. We really love you guys. Thank you so much for being here with us. Yeah. All right. Let's. Yeah, we talked about our favorite series, and I think we got and for me, it's like some of the stuff you mentioned, like Dark and Stranger Things and stuff. It's still very much up there for me as well. And like Chernobyl, that is one of the absolute best miniseries, best 5 hours of anything we've ever seen. Still, and even though I don't quite remember it that well, I know that Band of Brothers is like one of the absolute best series as well. And I remember fragments from it, but what I do remember is really, really good. And yes, we are still going to be reacting to it at some point, because that is something we promised from the very beginning, since day one, that we were going to do that at some point, because Kat hadn't seen any of it. And it's going to be interesting, because you and war series, war movies, it's not usually something that you like to watch, or that you tend to watch, because it's a little bit hard.
Yeah.
And you're just smiling.
I'm just reading through the comments on the chat, and it's just, you guys are so nice. You're really, really good people, and it really warms my heart.
Yeah. It's if there's one, if you like find a good thing from all of this, pandemic we're in and everything that's going on, is just that a lot of people are just showing how good we can be, and like how good we can be for each other, how we can be there for each other, and what people will do to support others and support everybody going through this. It's just and you guys are a prime example of that. So thank you once again. Oh, I just did. Yes. Yeah.
Of course, I don't think we're completely done, and I'm sorry, but me and my many moods. I also do enjoy watching a lot of comedy.
Oh yeah, we haven't even gotten into comedy series
exactly.
yet. That's a whole.
And I think I might have two contenders, and I think definitely but The Office, of course, is very funny, and I really love.
UK or US?
Oh yeah,
That's the question. UK or US? What is your favorite? Let's do that. First question for the chat. What is your favorite version of The Office, if you've seen both versions? Is it the UK version? Then you write UK. Or if it's the US version, then you write US. We would love to hear what you think about that. So yeah, sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I can. I don't know, because we still have the same kind of people, and I really love Martin Freeman and Martin Freeman's character, but I really think the US version kind of grew on me the more crazy people got.
They also had more seasons for that one.
Yeah, of course, they have a lot more seasons. And I think I would always say the UK version, because that's what was the first one I watched, and there's a lot of great actors in it, and I don't know, I always found that even though he's obnoxious, I always found Ricky Gervais' character a little bit more watchable than Steve Carell, because Steve Carell can get really cringy. Not his acting is brilliant, but like his character can get so cringy that it hurts in my stomach. And that's also the reason why I didn't watch Office US for a very long time, because I really couldn't get past Michael Scott, like,
and how cringy he is.
Yeah, and how cringy the whole situation is usually around him. But I definitely, I don't know, it's really hard, because I really warmed up to these people, and there's storylines, and of course there's always annoying characters that you can't really get rid of, but
it's and they had some hit and misses and everything. So yeah, I would say if we're just talking about consistency, I would probably say that like the UK version was just consistently better, but that was merely because there weren't nearly as many episodes, and so they didn't get to a point where the quality kind of dipped, just like the US version did, in my opinion at least. Like when we got to around season 7, 8, I think it started to dip, and especially when Michael left, it kind of went a little bit downhill from there. But yes, that's The Office.
Yeah, and then we have Parks and Rec.
Yes,
And that's possibly my favorite comedy.
Mine too, I think. Like if I had to choose, and just like how much the characters mean and how much I care for them, and just how funny it is. Like and Parks and Rec, I think, is very consistent as well. It was very consistent all the way through, and they even managed to change things up a couple of times, and yeah, play around with how the series was like. Yeah, we love it. We really love it.
And it's also one of the series that I'm watching on repeat almost because I really like it, and I wish I could just wipe my memory completely clear of it and just watch it again and do the same, like wipe my memory and then watch it again, because it's really it's emotional, it's funny, it's great characters. I mean.
Yeah.
And also, of course, I love. I think one of my role models, like fictional role models, is actually Leslie Knope.
Oh yeah, she's a go-getter, and she won't take no for an answer. She has so much passion and so much empathy. So I can definitely see a lot of similarities between her and you. So yeah, sorry, I just wanna. We got some more Streamlabs, some more donations. Thank you guys so much. I'm just gonna try and get to them here. So we got another one from Erdling saying that, Kat, your tears aren't annoying at all. I mostly have tears in my eyes at the same parts, and I'm a 53-year-old guy. By the way, Sonny Erdling is German for Earthling. We are all united in being Earthlings, aren't we? Yes, we definitely.
Wouldn't you say
are.
like an Erdling?
An Erdling?
Ein Erdling?
Du bist ein Erdling? Ja,
Ja.
wir sind Erdlings. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not the best German, I know.
Sorry.
And then we got one from Piotr. Are you going to make any hilarious TV reaction? For example, Polish Witcher series from 2001. Greeting from Poland. Yeah, that could be fun. Like, that depends on how many episodes there are, how long it is. But if it's just like a few short episodes or like one season or something, that could be fun. Just now that we've done the whole Witcher series reactions, and if that was a little bit up and down in how that went sometimes, and our expectations and everything. So it could be fun to just watch something just completely hilarious and just yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, we'll definitely think about that.
We haven't really seen any comedies, really.
No, but I would love. We were talking about doing Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
But then we kind of.
That's my fault, though.
Yeah, we might, because we know there's still like the last half of season 4, 5. When are we now? The last half of the newest season of Rick and Morty is gonna premiere soon, and we know that it's only like 5 or 6 episodes. So maybe we can do that, because we would love to react to some more comedies and do some more like not. It's fun to do the serious stuff, and there are still comedy in series like The Expanse and Stranger Things and everything. It's just a straight up comedy that would be nice.
Yeah.
Just,
it's like we have seen all the good ones.
Yeah. All right, and then we got another donation from Peter Round. Sorry, that was really bad pronunciation. Peadarrune. Love your reactions, though I feel a bit sadistic when I'm looking forward to seeing you lads react to some very emotionally loaded scenes in The Expanse, because I know how heartfelt the reaction is going to be. Yeah, but that's totally fine. We don't think that's sadistic or anything. That's why we think that a lot of you might started. That's why you started watching us, or that might be why a lot of people are watching us, is because we do have some very real and emotional reactions once in a while, and we've had especially some with The Expanse, and yeah, letting the tears stream down the cheeks and everything, and yeah, we don't hide anything like that. So when we do get emotional, we get really emotional.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So it's nice to know that you guys like that, at least.
I just saw somebody mentioning The Good Place. I've already watched everything except the last season. I couldn't find it on Netflix. So I just wanted to just point it out that we can't really do The Good Place because I've already seen it quite recently. But yeah,
But you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
right?
it's a Michael Schur, or Schur, or what is this called? It's the same guy behind something in both Parks and Rec and The Office, and then a third one that's also kind of Brooklyn 99. Yeah,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yeah, that's
It's also Michael Schur.
We're watching that at the moment as well. Or when we get new episodes, then we watch that, and then just classic comedies like Friends.
Of
we
course.
We can always watch Friends, and for me Seinfeld, of course, as well. And I love. Speaking of Seinfeld, I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's just anything Larry David does is just. But it's very cringy. So if you're not able to watch like cringy comedies, then Curb Your Enthusiasm, it might not be for you. That is like one of the most cringy comedies out there. But I love it.
Yeah.
We have another donation from Hannibal Lecter, not the Hannibal Lecter. But
Hopefully not.
He's saying, love y'all's reactions, appreciate all the hard work you put into your videos, and thank you so much. That's so generous. I have to admit it. Like when we were starting up the stream and the sound didn't work, and we were having like a day where we had to do a lot of stuff, and we haven't had a time to just sit down and relax today at all. I was getting kind of tense and angry and like, oh god damn it! And should we do this now? And just now sitting down and seeing all your comments, talking to you guys, and the donations and everything, it's just I'm all mellowed out and I'm all good again. So thank you guys so much. That really that means a lot. Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for fixing my mood. Hannibal Lecter watched Cat and Sonny.
I also saw someone. Yes, I have seen End of the Fucking World, and I think you might actually enjoy it. It's really really black British, dry black dark. It's called dark humor.
Dark humor. You always want to call it black humor. That's because it's a direct translation from Danish. Sword humor.
It's not easy being bilingual.
No, it's not. It is not. But yes, it's a very dark comedy, and I saw like a scene or two just watching from behind, and it looks like a lot of fun as well. Yeah,
and then also just quickly, if we wanted to watch a bad series for roasting, I think that could be very funny. But I think that could be instead of I don't know. We just talked about like the Polish Witcher series from 2001, something like that. So maybe it could be fun to watch.
I don't know if there's like a series equivalent of Sharknado or something we can watch where it's just so ridiculous.
Or The Room, or Vampire's Kiss or something.
Yeah. Well, we can of course do movie reactions. Like that's we've only done one so far, and like you weren't even a part of that. So we could definitely do some more movie reactions and react to some older ones, and maybe The Room. That could be fun. Just because it's such a cult classic now. Weird saying it, but yeah. We have another donation from Maria Hammond. And our dear Maria Hammond, and she's saying, your reactions are honest, Kat. Don't ever worry about crying. Being empathetic is a blessing. We all know people who aren't, and that is why they make awful decisions. Sonny is like your spirit guide on camera. I love your dynamic. Stay as you are. Oh, that's so sweet. That it hits right here, Maria. And yes, we will try to stay the way we are as much as we possibly can. If we ever do change, it will hopefully be for the better. So, yes, thank you so much. Are you tearing up?
Yeah, I was just trying to dry my eyes.
We have another one. Another donation from Sky. Hi from France. Hey, bonjour. Since you love The Expanse, do you plan on watching or reacting to Battlestar Galactica at some point, which is described as the best sci-fi series of all time and often compared to The Expanse? Yes, we already talked a little bit about that, when we are done with The Expanse, we're definitely at some point going to need a new sci-fi series to dive into, and then what can be better than Battlestar Galactica, from what I've heard. So yes, at some point down the road, we would love to do that as well. Wow, yeah.
I think we went to...
Where did we, in our notes here, sorry, just trying to figure out, watching habits, TV to physical copies to streaming services. Yeah, it was something I wrote down when I did the notes for this one.
I guess.
Yeah, but I think it's more the question of how, like it's funny to think about like how we are watching stuff now and then compared to what we did when we grew up, and then how other people are watching. Like I grew up watching, of course, just what was on television. If it was airing on television at a certain time, then I could watch it, and then sometime we would record it on a VHS tape. That was it for me at the beginning, at least, and then started buying like movies and series on VHS, and then that moved on to DVD and Blu-ray, and then all the streaming started, and that's how people watch series now. It's just streaming services, but it's at least fun to think about. And I don't know about you, like that was for you. Did you? I know I probably owned one or two more like DVDs and VHS than you growing up.
Yeah, because I didn't really I followed. I don't really think I really like followed the plot arc in any series before I got to a certain point in my life, because we only had like Flow TV, I think it's called.
Yeah, Flow TV. That's like the normal.
And yeah,
TV.
so we only had like cable, and it was not the biggest selection we had. So I did watch like Buffy the Vampire Slayer was also something I watched a little bit. So I just but I got like bits and pieces mainly on the Flow TV, and then at a certain point I think we went to. I had some movies on VHS, so I'm the kind of person that just watched the same thing over and over again. So I mainly used VHS tapes of movies.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point we went to we started using DVDs. And I didn't really have any series on DVD.
No.
I had like a Danish like comedy, stand-up comedy TV series that was quite fun, and I still have it lying around somewhere, and I love it. But yeah, I think that's one of the only series I've actually like physically owned. And then of course at a later point we could actually record series as they were sent in the television on the television, like Flow TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really didn't use it because I kind of moved out. And then we started streaming, the whole streaming thing, and I got Netflix a couple of years back. We got Netflix.
Yeah.
And then it was just from there on out, because it's with the streaming series, streaming series or streaming services in general, it's so much easier to actually keep track of how far you've gone through the series and all that stuff.
Yeah. But as I saw here, Pieter Ruan said as well, like I do also miss the times sometimes when all series would be airing like one episode a week, and then you could talk about it and speculate, and then you're all anticipating the next episode the week after, and so on and so on. And now there are so many streaming services that are just dumping all of it at once, which can be very nice for binging, and it is that is a very new thing, the whole binge a series thing. And I think there was someone who asked like what was one of the first series we binged, and I think for me, like before binging was really a thing as it is now, that was probably Friends. Like I had many like evenings, nights, and days where I was just binging Friends with friends, and yeah, so that was one of the first ones for me. But it is fun to think about like how it all changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody asked what setup we like right now, what we're doing. It's actually just one of our soft boxes. That's not really a soft box, but it's just like a very bright light with a little bit of fabric over it. So it's like a new soft box. That's the light source at least, and then we're just actually just running all both the video and audio on my MacBook, and it's an old one, so.
We tried doing it at first with the Canon camera, and that didn't work. The video feed just wouldn't go through, and then we tried doing it on my PC because it's a little bit newer and it's the one I use for editing. So I thought maybe it would be better on that, but the sound wouldn't work on that one, and you guys you saw that. So now we're just doing it the old school way with a webcam and the camera on the MacBook. So it is what it is, but at least you can see us and you can hear us. All right, let's get back to our little our notes here. We have a series that we would like to see, and we've talked a little bit about this as well. I think like Mr. Robot, as someone mentioned, that is something that we would like to see. Oh yeah, who's taller? Mr. Robot, that is definitely something we would like to see. And what else? Well, yeah, there's a lot. We have like a whole list of stuff that like suggestions and everything. And I think one of the series that we do want to start soon is The Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah. Oh wow. When I think about all the series I just want to see and want to watch with you guys, it's just there's so many series. Next up, at least, we can just talk about a little bit, a little bit about what we are going to watch next.
Yeah,
we are going to start on Avatar very soon. Like I think, yeah. Now Tiger King kind of went.
Yeah, but it's since that is mainly on Patreon, it's not going to be that long until we start Avatar. So that's more a question of when we're going to be done with The Boys, I think. So whenever we're done with the last episode of The Boys, and that one has been posted on YouTube, then we're probably going to start with Avatar: The Last Airbender on Patreon first, and then on YouTube. So it'll be like how it usually is.
Yeah. And then we're going to definitely do Band of Brothers very soon.
Yes.
And we also talked about Mr. Robot, and now also The Haunting of House Hill. But we have seriously, we have so many great shows we want to watch, and it's just like there's only 24
so much
hours in a
good stuff out there, and like in that on that note, it might actually be a little bit of a blessing in disguise that so many series and everything is getting delayed at the moment, so that we will have time to catch up on a lot of stuff before some new series come out that we really want to watch as well. Like, of course, we're going to be watching the second season of The Mandalorian when that drops, because the first season was just so good.
Yeah.
And all the Marvel shows as well, of course, because we are very much into that whole world. So whenever they drop, Falcon, Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Loki, and Hawkeye, and what else they're doing, like She-Hulk and Moon Knight, and I think there's a lot going on there as well. But it has all been postponed and pushed, and so we have a little bit of time to catch up with some of the stuff. And we are, of course, also still. I'm watching the Clone Wars. I watched the newest episode of Clone Wars today, so I'm gonna be editing that and posting it as soon as possible, sometime tonight or tomorrow or something. Yeah. And Naruto.
Oh yeah.
We are still watching Naruto. Don't worry, you guys. We haven't dropped it or anything. We just had to press pause on that one, and we kind of said it from the start that Naruto is not going to be it will never have like a set schedule like some of our other shows. It's one that we'll watch and that we'll put up when we have the time to do so. But we have watched 2 more episodes that we haven't put up yet. and I think that they are ready to be put up on Patreon very
Almost,
soon,
yeah.
almost, and then on YouTube when yeah, as soon as possible. So so to all of you Naruto fans out there, no, we haven't dropped it.
No, I just edited the two like episode 6 and 7 the other day, and it was like I watched it and you know, I get bits and pieces here and there. I'm just like, I love this series so damn much. Like it was also one of the first series, and also I spent a lot of my time as a 17-year-old in a new city, trying to get new friends and everything, but I'm not very social, so I used a lot of my time when I didn't do homework. I just read Naruto and watched the anime. And it's just so good. I love it, and I know it's just the people out there would say yeah, but there are a lot of other animes that you could watch that are better. Yeah, of course, but it doesn't take away from the fact that I love Naruto, and it's one of the main reasons I really love Japan, and I'm a bit of a Japanophile, I think it's called. I love Japanese culture. I love the people, the language, all of that, and most of it just stems from this from the series. So it's like a nostalgia thing as well.
Yeah, exactly. That was what I was about to say. It's a nostalgia thing, and something that you want to share with me, which I very much appreciate. And there are also some people here mentioning like Full Metal Alchemist and One Punch Man, and then Attack on Titan and everything. So the poll that we did with anime series, we're gonna do another one when we are when we're done with Avatar. We want to start a new one. It's gonna be a while, but we always we want to aim for, you know, we want to be watching an anime all the time, you know, so at least like one of them ongoing at any point in time.
I also saw someone, a lot of you actually suggested Casa de Papel, I think it's called, or Money Heist, and it's really, I've heard it should be really good, and I also put it on our list, and like one of the, we have to watch it soon, but you know, it's just, that list is just,
it's very long,
expanding and expanding and expanding, and it's just
yes.
so many great series to watch.
Yeah. Sorry, I just wanna Geminus. He also asked Geminus, Sonny, did you see that Ahsoka Tano will be in The Mandalorian? And yes, I talked a little bit about that in I think it was the last reaction that I did, and yes, I'm very excited about that, and it's. I can imagine she's going to get her own series. It's probably just going to be a small role in The Mandalorian, and then they'll jump, like, spin off into her own live-action series with Rosario Dawson. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but it seems like that is very, very, very likely that we'll get that. And just, yeah, just to connect the whole Clone Wars and thing with the anime stuff, or Avatar that we're going to be watching. I found out recently, I think, that Dave Filoni, he did a lot of Avatar, and that is the guy who's been doing Clone Wars and Rebels and everything. And I love him so much, and just his storytelling and the way that he understands these fictional worlds, and so the fact that he did a lot of Avatar, that just makes me even more excited for that series. So I can't wait till we start that one. Yeah, just wanted to get that in there. And oh yeah, someone is mentioning Westworld Season 3. We're not going to be doing reactions to Westworld, but we do plan on watching it at some point just ourselves, and then we'll do a review, because we want to talk about it, or I want to talk about it, or yeah, we'll see, because I am still curious about where it all goes from, like where we left off in Season 2. It's just that emotionally speaking, like we aren't really connected to some of the characters in that series the same way we are to other series and other characters. So that's just, yeah, we don't want to start and then end up like halfway through Season 3 of Westworld and being like, we don't really want to do the reactions. We aren't really into it as much, because that's how Season 2 was a little bit. It was a little bit hit and miss for us. We know a lot of people love it, but we just don't want to start watching and making videos about something that we're not truly enjoying, if you get my drift. So there, yeah. Sorry, I'm just gonna see if we got any new donations. Oh, yeah, we did.
Holy. Okay.
We got three more.
Yeah.
One more from Piotr. Witcher 2001 series is just one season, 13 episodes, 45-minute episodes. Meeting Ciri and Geralt is better, more emotional.
You just said Gerald!
Sorry, it was the way it was spelled. Sorry. Geralt. It was, yeah, sorry. I don't want to, yeah, that was a brain fart.
Yeah, so we might just look into it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Perhaps on Patreon or something. But yeah, we'll look into it. And then we got Pro Crowns. Sam from Texas here. Hey, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
I love y'all's content. Keep up the awesome work. I'd watch your stream Games Cat. I used to do it, and sometimes it can get tough. But it's so satisfying to grow alongside a community. What shows are y'all watching aside from reactions? Yeah, so what we're watching right now, yeah, we mentioned like Brooklyn Nine-Nine is something we're watching. You're watching RuPaul's Drag Race UK.
Yeah, and no, I finished Drag Race UK because I binged
You got through that fast.
Yeah, I eat that shit like candy. But I do because it's
Gerald of Rivia. Sorry, Gerald. I'm sorry.
Currently, I'm watching RuPaul's Drag Race, like the US version. I can just tell you, I love Drag Race. I love drag queens. I wish I was a drag queen. And whenever I watch Drag Race, of course, aside from all the drama and stuff, I feel so powerful, and I feel a lot of confidence, and I look at these wonderful people, these wonderful women impersonators that exude confidence, and they have all these weird body shapes, and they have all of these kinks and quirks and all of this, and they're celebrating themselves.
And they've gone through so much, like so many obstacles in life. It's just amazing that they can still sometimes be as joyful and lively people and colorful and
all those big,
empathetic and everything. Yeah,
glittery dresses, and they're so good at singing and dancing, and it's just like I wish my life was a.
Sorry, it's just Kat's family is apparently drinking the same thing we're drinking. So skål!
Skål, Killerik!
Skål! Yeah, cheers for the Killerik family.
Yeah, so it's so that's what I'm watching, and I'm watching so I also just watched the UK version. There's only one season so far, and I ate through it as I said, just through candy.
Yeah, nom. Yes, and I'm besides what we're watching together, which was Brooklyn Nine-Nine for the 117th time. Sorry, I keep saying that all the time, but what I'm watching just myself, I'm watching Better Call Saul, and it would have been nice to do reactions for those, especially with what's been going on in the newest season, because that show is just really firing on all cylinders, and I really love it. And then I watched Curb Your Enthusiasm, the newest season as well, and I'm watching Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, even though it's a bit of a weird format at the moment because he's at home like everybody else. And then I am also watching Dave on HBO, the series about Lil Dicky, the rapper, and that is surprisingly good, very well written, and it can be very emotional and very touching and very it's easy to identify with some of the stuff in that series. It's actually shaping up to be a very good comedy series, so I can very much recommend that to any of you guys out there who are interested in watching something about, if you know about Lil Dicky, and if you like to watch an awkward Jewish rapper trying to make it in the hardcore rap game. It's a lot of fun. I think that, and then of course I'm watching. It's not really it is a series, and it is still the movie Trivia Schmodown. Anything that Christian Harloff is doing, Mark Ellis, the Schmoes, and the Schmodown Entertainment Network, and I really love watching what they're doing. And they're doing a lot of live streams as well, where just like us, just sitting around talking about all sorts of stuff and talking with people and interacting. And so that I'm watching stuff like that as well in these times and normally as well.
Yeah, and I think I just made a promise to my big brother that I wanted to watch the first Twin Peaks.
Ooh, yeah.
I still don't really know where to watch it though. What streaming platform I can watch it
It's on HBO.
It's on HBO.
Yeah.
Because I promised him that I at least wanted to look into the first seasons, kind of. Whatever it is.
The first, like, at first it gets more and more David Lynch as the series goes on, I think, and especially like when the return of Twin Peaks, when it came back with 18 new episodes, that is very Lynch. Like if you don't like stuff where you can't figure out what's going on 99.9% of the time, then Twin Peaks might not be for you. But it's still like there's so much to dive into in that series, so many freaking layers and so much to talk about, and it is very well made as well, and some good actors and everything. So it's definitely worth checking out, and we'll see how you react to that one. But your brother is a big fan of anything.
Yeah, my brother is weird. I love him, but he's a little weird. So he loves especially the Twin Peaks and weird music and weird stuff. But yeah, so I kind of promised him. Yeah, so that's definitely what I'm going to watch.
Yeah. All right, sorry, we have some more donations here. Another from Pieta Ruan. Are you concerned about a lack of proper series in the near future due to many show productions being on hold due to this pandemic?
We talked about that a little bit, right? That
it's more of a, for us, we look at it more of a blessing in disguise, where we can catch up on a lot of series that we haven't watched, that we know are very high quality and good, and stuff like Mr. Robot and The Haunting of Hill House, and stuff like that we want to watch. Ozark as well. I know that Ozark is just some of the best out there at the moment, and a lot of people are comparing it to Breaking Bad in the same sense, like in the way that the series just gets better and better and better and better. So Ozark is on the list as well, definitely. And we have another from Soloesta. The ultimate question. Return of the King or Return of the Jedi? Team Aragon here. Lol. Thank you for your content. P.S. You will love Mr. Robots. Yes, I'm sure we will. Okay.
Thank you.
That is some question. Oh no. Return of the King or Return of the Jedi? That is freaking Sophie's choice for me. I don't know if I can. I imagine for you it's still Return of the King.
It will always be Return of the King.
It will always be Return of the King.
It's not that I don't love Star Wars. I love Star Wars, like, a lot. And even if it was Empire Strikes Back, I would still go for Return of the King, because it's my all-time favorite movie. If I really have to point like one movie out that's the best in the whole wide world, it's definitely that one. So it's hands down. It's Return of the King.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, it's like Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Star Wars trilogy. That's the best for me. Like those two trilogies, nothing comes close at all, and it's almost impossible for me to choose. Like, and if I absolutely had to choose, if I like that horrible question that some people get asked sometimes, like if you had to like choose one and then lose the other one forever, and you never be like they'll be deleted from existence. If that was the question, like choosing between original Star Wars trilogy and Lord of the Rings trilogy, then I'm gonna have to go Star Wars. But that is a really tough sacrifice, and it's only because the Star Wars means so much to me that I can even contemplate making that decision, because the Lord of the Rings trilogy is some of the best, if not the best, filmmaking ever. Like seriously, they're so well made. Yeah. Whew, that was a tough one. Thank you. We got another one from Sky. Sorry if you already talked about this at the start of the live stream. Any thoughts or plans about Lost, Succession, or Utopia? I'm guessing these are still series that we're talking about, not just those terms in general. But yeah, Lost is like one of the series that I know that like a lot of people watched it when it came out, and it was a very big thing. Especially this, like it was one of the not one, I don't know if it was the first series, but one of those series where people really talked about it from week to week, and they were theorizing and being like, "What the hell is going on? And can you figure it out?" And it was a big mystery box, and then something about the ending didn't really live up to expectations, or it got a little bit weird or something. But it's still something we would like to check out at some point, because it's one of those have to watch kind of deals. I don't know about Succession or Utopia. I don't know too much about them. But yeah, have you heard about any of them?
I'm not really. I think I've heard about Succession, but it's like very, very superficially. Like I haven't really. I think I've heard the name, basically. But yeah, Viggo is half Danish, half American.
Yeah.
And I consider him to be American, but with Danish heritage, because he is. I think he's actually. Is he born and raised in America?
He has lived in many different places. He also lived in Spain, and I think, and other. Yeah, he's a very worldly guy who's been living many places, and he can speak like 4 or 5 languages or
Yeah,
something.
and his Danish is a little bit rusty.
But he can still do it.
Yeah, definitely.
The
So
times
of course,
he's been in Denmark, like the interviewers have been speaking Danish to him.
Yeah, and he's it's just that his pronunciation is just a little bit Americanized, of course, but he still speaks Danish and understands Danish as well. So, but I just consider him more to be an American than an actual Dane, because I would say I think his. And the way I usually determine this is by what do you think? What is your thought language? What do you think about? What language do you dream in? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And of course, my dream language or my inner language is Danish, and because I'm born and raised. But I think his inner language is okay. So, but I think his
like Viggo's inner language.
Viggo's inner language is definitely American, and that's yeah.
Yeah. It's but yeah, that's a fun way to think about it. Like, what is your inner language? Like, what when you think about something, when you form a thought in your head, and or if you're talking to yourself like internally, what language are you speaking to yourself? Because for me, that was actually one of the things that helped me a lot with learning English early on, was that I'm thinking in English sentences, and that's why it might like sometimes I'll get there a little bit quicker, or I'll be able. This is not a good example at all. Now I'm just rambling, but it's a good way of training yourself to talk a different language. Is trying to think in that language as well, if that makes any sense. So that's what I'm trying to do a lot of the time, at least.
Yeah, but I definitely also have, sometimes I think in English as well, but when it comes down to it, I am Danish, and my inner language is Danish as well. So
yeah, exactly. And someone just to see favorite Viggo movie, Eastern Promises. Yeah, Eastern Promises. I think that is still the best acted role he has had, even though like Lord of the Rings that is our favorite thing he has done. It's the acting that he was able to do or portray in Eastern Promises. That was really good.
Yeah, and yeah, of course. Just a little side note. I was like one of my biggest and first loves of my life. Was actually Aragorn. Like, I had a little sticker with him on, and whenever I looked up on that sticker, I got butterflies in my stomach, and I kind of, I
So
kid you not, I had like, I started seeing like imaginary hearts around him, and like everything got pink and fluffy. And
so it was the cliche poster on your teenage room.
Except it was a sticker
hanging.
on this size, like a very small sticker I had above my bed. Like it was
Not even a poster. But
And
just
what was I when I first saw the first movie? I was what, 9? Is that 9? I think I was 9.
It came out. It came out the first one in 2001. So yeah, you would have been 9.
Yeah, and I was 9 years old, and everyone else was raving about Legolas and Orlando Bloom. But me, that was just Aragorn.
Yeah.
For some reason.
I remember that, like, for me it was just not that I had a crush on Aragorn, but it was more like everybody, all of my friends wanted to be Legolas, because he was the cool one with the bow and everything.
Defying gravity.
But I always liked Aragorn the most as well. Like, that was the one I wanted to be, because I thought it was more, he was just so badass, and still to this day, one of the most badass fight scenes I've ever seen is in Fellowship of the Ring, when he goes up against LotR, I think his name is, the Uruk who shoots arrows through Boromir. That battle is just still so freaking intense, and I know, like, there's some behind the scenes thing there where LotR he throws a dagger at Aragorn, and he wasn't supposed to, like, throw it straight at him. But he did, and Viggo, he was just so quick with the sword that he was able to deflect it. And if he hadn't done that, it would have hit him.
Yeah, and he would have been badly hurt,
badly injured,
or
yes.
even worse than that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just behind the scenes stuff there. But yeah, I really love that scene as well. Aw, Frank, sorry, making you feel old. I was 23 in 2001.
Sorry.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Gimli, am I a joke to you? Would you like me to find you a box? No, it's yeah, I don't know. I when we were playing, like, it would have made sense if, like, when we were playing outside when we were kids and everything, that I would be Gimli instead of Aragorn because of my height. But but no. Yeah. It's still, yeah, Gimli is awesome as well, and all the characters are great. And Samwise Gamgee, yes, one of the absolute best characters. And if you asked, I think Tolkien himself, or
I think it was Peter Jackson.
Or more, yeah, more like if you asked Peter Jackson, then he would probably say that, like, the one character that he identified the most with is Sam. And I think a lot of people will identify with Sam the most, because he is, yeah.
And we can talk about
we can keep
like
talking
forever,
about stuff like that. But okay, let's do this then, because we asked you guys a question earlier. So let's ask you guys. We're gonna ask you guys the same question that that we got about Return of the King and Return of the Jedi. So which one is your favorite? What do we say? Okay, so let's say type S for Return of the Jedi, S for Star Wars. Type L for Return of the King, L for Lord of the Rings. So S for Return of the Jedi, L for Return of the King. Let's see where it lands, and let's see what the chat says. What is your favorite, if you had to choose? I know it might be Sophie's choice for some of you guys as well. Sonny pulled the foot out quick. Good job, mate. I don't know what you're talking about.
Strider.
So yeah, when it comes to the name, oh, okay. So far, it is definitely Return of the King. Yes.
Good to know my family is with me out there.
And your sister as well. Okay. 1 Star Wars, 2 Star Wars, 3 Star Wars, 4, 5. But otherwise, it's mostly Return of the King. And I guess, like, I don't know. It's not that you can be, like, a totally 100% objective when it comes to movies, because it's all opinion based. It's all, like, nothing is, like, there's no movie that is, like, objectively good or bad or anything. But I guess, like, if you're just talking about, I don't know, just how it was crafted and what went into it, and I guess you could argue that the Lord of the Rings movies are better made than stuff. No, I'm not even. I can't even get myself to say that. I'm sorry. It's I just love the original trilogy so much. But yes, Empire is definitely the best one.
It's like your dad.
Yes, and my dad is saying Star Wars as one of the few ones. Because yeah, he's the reason why I got into the whole like Star Wars thing like very early on, because I think that was the first movie he ever showed me, or my parents ever showed me, was Star Wars. So even though I didn't understand anything about what was going on, I could still kind of follow along with just the music and the sounds and the visuals and everything. It's yeah. Get ready for a TED Talk about Star Wars from Sonny. Yes, cow. You'll get that. No, that was it's Kat's sister who's just teasing me a little bit because I can just talk for hours and hours and hours on end. So yes, I might do a TED Talk about Star Wars at some point. Who fucking knows?
You can't even keep yourself down to like 13 minutes.
No, not at all. Not even no.
So it's not going to be a TED Talk. It's more going to be like a podcast. But we've talked about that. We've talked about making a podcast on the Star Wars series. Like, no, like just Star Wars the franchise.
Yeah, exactly. We want to do something like that, either a podcast or some more live streams where we're talking about like set subjects, like this one where we're talking about television series. It's a very broad one, but some of the other ones, or like the later streams we're going to be doing down the road, we've been talking about. Delving into something like making a whole stream about Star Wars, or making a whole stream about The Expanse, or something else. Lord of the Rings, maybe. Now that
we're into geeky territory.
yeah. A lot of the geeky stuff.
Somebody just asked me what my first movie was, and the first movie I ever owned, I bought with my own money, and it was Mulan, the Disney version. And I have watched that. I watched that movie so many times. It's like I watched it multiple times a day, and it was just. I think I watched this. I watched it for so long, or so many times, that the VHS tape actually practically just broke at some point, because I watched it so much, and I could recite it from one end to the other. I loved it so much, and I still love it.
Yeah, I think that was the case with some of my older Star Wars VHS tapes as well. I think I kind of watched them so much so that they broke. I wasn't able to watch anymore.
Yeah, I'm very easy to play poker or any sort of don't lie or cheat game, because I can't.
Yeah, you are very easy to read.
I can't. I have. It's such a hard time for me lying, or trying to cheat or something. I can't.
Yeah. If you feel something, if Kat feels something, then you're gonna be able to see that on her face straight away, like whatever it is, pretty much, and like you don't hide it. But that's also very Then it's easy to figure out, like, okay, what kind of mood are you in?
But sometimes I need to go through stuff myself.
Exactly, we all do. Like, just process things ourselves, and not we don't need solutions right now. We just need understanding and peace and quiet. Thank you very much. Right? Yeah. Exactly. All right. Let's see if there are some more any more Streamlabs questions here. Nope. Does not look like it. And we have pretty much gotten through all of our notes here.
Adaptations?
I guess we can talk a little bit about this. Just I wrote it as a thing we could talk about. Stuff we would love to see adapted into a series. Do you have anything in mind?
That's the hard part, right? It's adaptation, especially the ones I would love to see is actually video games, such as Last of Us or Uncharted, or
we're getting Last of Us.
Oh yeah, that's right. We do.
Yeah, I don't know if that has been postponed or anything, but we're really excited about that, especially because it's from like the people who worked on the freaking game, the game director Neil Druckmann, and the people at Naughty Dog working together with HBO, and more precisely like the guy who worked on or who gave us Chernobyl, like the showrunner on that one.
Craig Mason.
Yeah, Craig Mason. Yeah.
Mason.
So just the people working on that series is really looking forward to that. And just speaking of The Last of Us, might as well just mention it here. When we start doing our gaming streams, as soon as The Last of Us Part 2 drops, we will definitely be streaming that one, reaction-wise. And I don't know exactly how we're going to be doing like with playing the game, per se. Maybe we'll just do like 30 minutes each or something, switch back and forth. But,
Yeah.
But that's something
hard.
we'd
That's the hard part, because if you're getting stuck on like a level or like a boss or like an area or something, and you just can't get past that, then the other person
might be able to.
And it's just like it's a little bit with like then the other person might not get as much playtime, because you're just getting mad over and over about the same stupid thing that you can't do. And of course, me, because I am not the best console gamer in the world, so I would probably be the one just being stuck at the same place.
We'll figure it out. It's more about the story with those games, I think.
Of course. It's just
experiencing that, because that is like playing a movie. So yeah, that's we're getting that. So that's great, and Uncharted, that's going to be a movie still. I think they've been working on that since for freaking ever. I don't know how I feel about Tom Holland being Nathan Drake. I don't know. It'll have to be a very, very young Nathan Drake. And Mark Wahlberg is going to be playing Sully, and I really don't know how I feel about that.
I know he's a little bit old, but couldn't they just get Nathan Fillion or something?
Yeah, he's perfect. Like, if any of you guys have seen, like, there's a short movie that some fans made with the help of Nathan Fillion and other actors, like a short Uncharted movie. I think it's like 15-20 minutes long or something. It's really, really, really good.
Yeah, and we watched that. It was great. I just think that they miscast the what's it called, Elena? Is that her name?
Elena,
yeah. I think they miscast. I didn't like her, and I really, really like her in the games, because I think she's amazing. And I didn't like the character, like the actor.
In the short film.
In that fan-made movie. I think it was great. I think it was amazingly done, and I think it was. I loved Nathan Fillion as Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
So that would have been awesome, but I guess he might be a little bit too old now.
And someone just mentioned thoughts on Castlevania, Ravenous Spider. I haven't watched it, haven't played the games either, so that's a whole new world. So that'll be something we'll have to dive into if we're going to be starting that. But I know there's an animated series that I've heard is good. But yeah.
Any adaptation?
Well, when we're talking about games, it starts with an A and ends with an S effect.
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect. It's very close to. It would be very close to The Expanse and themes and stuff, but I still think it would make for a good television series.
It would, but the thing is, I think a lot of people would be mad if they made Shepard male Shepard, but I also think a lot of people like me would be other way. A lot of people would be mad if it was a female Shepard. I would love that personally, because female Shepard for me is also one of my fictional role models, and I love her, and I love the whole Paragon route you go through that, and I don't know. I would be very sad if they turned him out to be. If they turned Shepard into a man, because that's not the way I played it. But of course, a lot of guys played it and played the male version.
Yeah, but I do think many would be like. I think the consensus is when it comes to Shepard that even though a lot of guys might have played the male Shepard, then they accept that femshep is the better portrayal, or it was in the games at least. So many people would. I don't think anyone would really have a problem with Shepard being female, but we'll see. It's they would have to have someone mentioned like a really big budget and everything if they are to do if they are to do Mass Effect as a series, which it is possible. Like they would be able to do it. It would just require a lot.
It would, and I just feel like we have the Expanse, and there's so many things they have in common. Like so many, it's almost going to be like the same series, almost like at least in cold type. In like broad strokes.
Broad strokes, yeah.
So I think that would be a little bit. I don't know. I'm not super sold on the Mass Effect as a series. Favorite NPC in ME. I think that must be Garrus, possibly.
Yeah, non-playable characters. That is our Turian bro. Yeah, Garrus.
And he is a bro.
That would be the one. Oh, we got some more here. Another one from Pietra, donation. Are you going to review movies? My favorite movie of 2019 was Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Have you seen it? No, I've heard about it a little bit. But yes, we would love to do some more movie reviews. I don't know when there's going to be a new movie. I know a lot, like some new movies are coming out on streaming services right now, and maybe we'll do a review when something comes out that we want to watch. But there are a lot of movies that are getting pushed back now, so it's going to maybe be a while.
Still really want to see Dark Crystal. Is that?
Oh yes, yeah. Sorry, yes, the old Jim Henson.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
We want to watch that, and then at some point the series as well.
Yeah, exactly. We have talked about actually doing it on the channel, but we just you know how life went. It was like 2019 was crazy, and we got all of these series, and then suddenly we got like 4 series going on at the same time, and everything ended up getting pushed. And hopefully we can get into some more stuff now. But yeah, it's there's so much good stuff out there, and it's just with time everything is just going to be added onto the pool. And we have seen Parasite, so that's definitely sorry. So it's
yeah. But that was we tried to watch as many of the Oscar movies, and I try to, because I like watching the Oscars. I like to join in the conversation about what movies deserve what, and what should be nominated, what shouldn't have been nominated, all that, the whole spiel there. So I try to watch as many of the movies that are going to be nominated as I possibly can, and I think one of the movies I enjoyed the most from last year, that would probably be 1917. I really enjoyed that all the way through, and not only because of how it was shot. I know that is something that people talk about a lot, but for me it was very much the story and the personal nature of the story, and how you were just following these two guys along and following them every step of the way. And that's definitely one of the ones that I really enjoyed from last year. Is there anything else, like jumping back to anything we would like to see adapted into a series? Someone mentioned Harry Potter. How would you feel about that? Is that too soon? Or
like reboot?
Yeah, as a series instead of movies.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit too soon.
But maybe just like a series in the Harry Potter, or the Wizarding world as it's called now. I think that would maybe have been a better way of expanding that world, instead of the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movies, because that has kind of fizzled out a little bit, hasn't it? Like the last one, The Crimes of Grindelwald.
I think
did anyone really enjoy that? I'm not sure. Like, please tell us in the comments if you did, but I just haven't heard that many really positives about that or around that. So
I don't know. I have.
Someone's just being like, no.
I have a little bit of a problem with Johnny Depp, because I think he has played the same role for almost 20 years now. and
Yeah.
it makes me sad in a way because of course he has done some great stuff, but it's just I think it took away a lot from the new um, series of movies about Newt Scamander and all that.
Yeah.
And I just thought it took away a lot because I really liked Colin Farrell though as Grindelwald.
Oh yeah, yeah. He did a great job in that. But they should have just
Should,
They should have kept him
yeah,
on. Not that like I still actually that was one of the things that I enjoyed the most from Grindelwald. The Crimes of Grindelwald was actually Johnny Depp's portrayal because he was still playing like a very like not a real character and a bit of a quirky character, but he wasn't. It wasn't in the same way as like the stuff he did with Pirates and Dark Shadows and Alice in Wonderland, where he's just weird. Like in this one, in Long Ranger, like in this one, I could actually see him as being a very, very real threat in those movies, and actually even more dangerous than Voldemort, because compared to Voldemort, Grindelwald actually has some sort of
no, not perspective, like a
no,
point
no.
of view, right?
Yeah, yeah, like that, and he's just not. He's just not. I wanna destroy and be evil for the sake of being evil. The same, like it feels like he's more real. He's more dangerous because he's charismatic. He can turn people to his cause because of what he's saying makes sense. Or it can make sense. So he was more like, to me, he was actually more of a dangerous villain than Voldemort in that sense.
For me, it was not the character. For me, it was if they had kept Colin Farrell, I think it would have been a different movie, and I think it would have been a different portrayal, and I think it would have worked better. At least in my opinion, I think it would have worked better.
Yeah, and as someone is mentioned, like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, that's where it really changed Johnny Depp. It kind of started there, and then he just played that role.
Yeah, I just felt like he was stuck there.
Mm.
And I heard a quote from him where he said he brings a little bit from each character into the next one. But it just felt like after Jack Sparrow that it was just like Jack Sparrow and Jack Sparrow and Jack Sparrow and another Jack Sparrow, and it was just I really liked him from what I've seen in Black Mass, I think it's called, where he's like a mob boss.
Yeah. He played Whitey Bulger, mob boss in Chicago, was it? I'm sorry if I get it mixed up, but yes, he was actually pretty good in that. The movie in itself was pacing-wise a bit dull, I think. But his portrayal of Whitey was actually really good and very down to earth and subdued compared to some of the weird stuff that he's known to do over the past like 20 years. So yeah, all right.
I think Edward Norton.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Edward Scissorhands is perhaps his best work.
Yeah. And one of the best movies he's been in. What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
But he's overshadowed by Leonardo DiCaprio.
That is,
he's really good.
That is still, if you haven't seen that movie, a very, very, very young Johnny Depp and an even younger Leonardo DiCaprio. And DiCaprio in that one is amazing. He's playing a...
Donnie Brasco.
Huh? Oh, yeah, he's in that. He's playing like a mentally ill kid in that one, and he's just doing such a good job of it. And it might be like still to this day one of the best, like some of the best acting he has ever done, and he should have won back then. But he won for The Revenant, which was an experience, a movie. I saw it, and that was kind of it. Don't really have anything more to say about that. It was beautifully made, but a little bit dull. Let's see. All right, no more Streamlabs.
We look different in what way?
Maybe it's the lighting, probably the camera. The quality of the camera we usually use for our reaction videos is that camera is better than what we're using here. So this doesn't show as many details and stuff. But yeah, so that might just be it. But yeah, I think we've gotten through all of the notes we made and all the stuff we wanted to get into about television series in general, and what we've been watching, what we want to watch, stuff we would like to see adapted. The only thing I have left here is just series we have been or will be watching on our channel, and we've just been talking about those. There's just a little bit here and there all the way through the stream. If you have to pick something that has been like some of your absolute favorite stuff to watch and interact with people about so far that we've been doing, what would you say is like at the top of your list at least?
I think it's really hard because a lot of my favorite series of all time is definitely some of the series we've watched here and other people recommending them to us. And I would say I've really grown fond of The Expanse. It was a bit of a slow start for me. Dark had me, I think, a couple of episodes in completely.
Yeah.
And of course, we already knew Stranger Things, and Stranger Things were already my favorite series before we watched the third season. So I think it's hard to say exactly what was my favorite. Of course, I had a lot of expectations to The Witcher because I did read the books.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm still not through the last one, Season of Storms. Only 1/3 through. But I still feel like I've read the most important things.
Yeah.
But of course, we had a lot of backlash. I think it felt like we had a lot of backlash.
Very vocal minority, but still, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just, of course, when it's something you're so goddamn passionate about. It's my favorite books next after The Little Prince. It's so when you're so passionate about stuff, and people are being very condescending, and even at some points even very mean-spirited when you talk about your passion and how your passion sometimes is not. It's very hard with adaptations, of course. Overall, I think The Witcher, the adaptation of The Witcher has been great.
You did a fine job.
Yeah,
like there's
definitely.
a lot of potential with that series.
Definitely. I still don't think that it's as good as the books, but I mean, when is a series ever as good as, or like a movie ever as good as the books? I think Expanse. Expanse did a very good job, but even there you can say like there's some things in the books that are very well described, or like there's a different definitely it's somehow easier to empathize with people when you listen to their thoughts and you're into their thought process. Yeah. So that was, of course, I loved it, but again, I'm not very good with the backlash when it becomes. Sometimes I feel the backlash becomes personal and mean-spirited instead of just constructive. Or
yeah, exactly. Constructive criticism is always welcome.
Yeah, like someone just other people's opinions, as long as you voice them with respect.
Yeah, exactly.
And like say, hey, I disagree. I think it was great because yada yada yada, and it's like great.
Yeah, like someone just mentioned in the comment here, like just some constructive criticism about our lighting. That like sometimes in our normal reactions, it might actually be a little bit too much compared to this. And for me, that's just like, that's great to know. Like, please tell me more of stuff like that so that we can make the best content for you guys. Because stuff like that is just helps us to do a better job. When it gets really personal and nasty, that helps no one. I just want to, there was one question here before I start talking about what I have enjoyed the most. It was just Brypeard who asked, do you guys watch other reactors? Or do you even have time to watch other reactors? And that's probably mostly me watching other reactors, and I have been watching reactions for a long while, and that's how I got the idea to do this, or how I found out that was an option at all. I've been watching, the big ones like Blind Wave and Normies for a long while, and then my favorites have been, and probably will always be Nikki and Steven, because they're just wonderful people and really, really great to watch. And then through them and others, then we've found others like, I'm always really bad at pronouncing
Das Canavasas? I'm sorry if I'm butchering it.
We really love you guys. It's just that we have a very hard time figuring out your
and I
name.
think it's like Hispanic.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, it definitely. Yeah, it definitely is.
And
it's just,
I never learned any Spanish at all. So
I learned a little bit.
I wouldn't know how to pronounce it properly.
I'm sorry. It's just trying to look up something on my computer, and it's just
do that.
I keep.
Somebody asked me or said that I should do makeup tutorials, but I'm really afraid of doing it, I guess, because I don't really know what to do. I was thinking about making like short movies with me putting on makeup with a little bit of music over it, but I just feel like if you watched it, it would be like, why don't you talk? And it's like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, you find them.
Sorry, Dos Cavazos. It's it's the pronunciation, but either way, we really love those guys as well, and so yeah, watching reactors is something that I have been doing, and I still have time to do once in a while. So that's I do like that's for me at least. That was a way to watch some stuff and talk with people, or watch people talk about stuff that I really like, and it's nice to be able to find kinship like that on the internet, and find people who like the same stuff that you do, and talk about it, and it's that's at least what we hope that some of you guys are getting out of watching our channel and our reactions and everything as well. Apparently it's spelled Dos Cavazos. Yeah. Alright, yes, so let's get back to what we were talking about. Series that we have been watching, like, what have we been enjoying? And for you, that was, you've been enjoying a lot of it?
Yes.
It seems like just for different reasons and stuff, and it's the same here. I think when first we started watching The Expanse. Oh, sorry. It's just my mom is asking a question and asking me if I can say hi to my uncle in Danish. Ja, Hanse, hvis du ser med, så hej, det er da super hyggeligt. Nice, hej Hanse, og helt Rikke og Hanne og alle sammen. That was some Danish there. If I just said hi to my uncle and told him to say hello to his family.
And just wanted to say the noise is my computer. It's like overworking.
Yes,
so
we weren't planning on using the camera and the microphone on the computer. But now it's working through a lot of stuff right now. Sorry. Yes. When we started during The Expanse, I had already watched season 1, and I thought I had watched season 2, all of it, but apparently I had only watched like the first 5 episodes up until I don't want to spoil too much, even though probably most of you are watching our Expanse reactions, but something happens there with that main character. Yeah, so I watched up until that point apparently, but I didn't really pay that much attention. So I liked it, but then we started watching it, and I really started to pay attention, and we watched it together. And now, like, that has just become one of my absolute favorite series ever, and it's so much like everything I love about sci-fi and series and anything like that in general. It's just The Expanse encompasses all of it. So that one is very, very high up on the list for me. And then Dark was really great because it's always nice to see that, of course, there are a lot of great content being made and being produced in other countries other than USA and than America. And Dark was just amazing in so many ways as well, and opened my eyes to new stuff. And then I think, like, Chernobyl was a real big one, especially because of what it did for our channel. But I really, really enjoyed Watchmen as well. I think I enjoyed it way more than you did, or at least a good deal more than you did. But to me, that was like 9 really perfectly good episodes and good pacing, and I am very satisfied with how it ended, and I'm good with us not getting another season. That it's probably only going to be 9 episodes, limited series. That's it, and I think that's it stands on its own, and it lives up to what the graphic novel did. I think.
Yeah, it's not well. I did enjoy it. It was great. It's just that, and I think most of you guys have noticed by now that I'm a little bit critical sometimes, and I'm very sometimes a little bit overcritical maybe, and even to the point that some people mention that I always have to warm up to a series over a couple of episodes before I really start to get into it, and it's just I just have my reservations. I'm a very reserved person, and I think it was the same with Watchmen, and even though, of course, there's some things that I really disagreed with, I still.
Sorry, it's just a new donation and something we haven't talked about.
Great, great. I just wanted to say that, of course, there were especially once again, this is also an adaptation, or like not an adaptation, but what kind of like a sequel to the comic book. And once again, with adaptations, you have certain expectations, and I did have those in regard to some of the characters from The Watchmen, and I just it's when you start to fickle with like the things that you love the most about something. Like my favorite character from the comics was Ozymandias, and I just didn't feel like it was he was portrayed in the way that I would have liked him to, and it's totally fine. It's just I just disagree with it.
Yeah.
It's just I found him hilarious at times. It was hilarious. I just think it was a very not the way
that you thought his character was gonna go
exactly
in that direction, and that it is a good point, or it's a good something interesting to bring up, at least when you're talking about a continuation of something that people really love or have some sort of relationship to. And I can revert it back to Star Wars here, because that is something that a lot of people had a reaction to Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, where to some people how he was in the last in the last Jedi, how he was in that movie was perfectly in line with how they saw his character progress and everything that went on, and it was a natural progression of his character. And for others, it was not. It was totally a different Luke and not the same, and felt that they kind of botched that portrayal. And I think like that you can draw like similar, like it's kind of similar to the thing with Ozymandias, where he was behaving in a certain way in the original content and the source material, or what you want to say, and then in the continuation of it, he behaved very differently, and some people liked that, and others didn't, and it's just all like it's a personal thing, and it's
and I'm totally once again I'm totally fine with people disagreeing with me as long as they don't devalue my opinion.
Yeah, and I think like Primark is actually saying it in a pretty good way. Like Ozymandias, he was a calm, collected man in the comics, but he is very eccentric in the show. And to me that was, it seemed like a natural progression for his character, that he was growing more and more eccentric. But yeah, either way, we have some new Streamlabs that I really want to mention.
Definitely.
Sorry. We have one from Joshua Rove. Hi guys, have you seen BoJack Horseman? And Yes, so good. As someone who suffers quite badly with depression and anxiety, some of it really hit home. Also, your Chernobyl reactions really helped me through a dark time last year, so thank you so much for that. Aw,
Thank you,
Joshua,
Josh.
we're so happy that we could help you in any way possible, or make any like make just any make it a teeny tiny bit better for you. And just BoJack Horseman. Yes, we have watched it.
And we haven't even talked about it.
And I don't know why we haven't mentioned BoJack Horseman. Maybe it's because to me it just ended a little bit like, was that it? Like I need more conclusion. I need some more time with these characters before I'm able to say goodbye. But that might also just be that might be the point of it. But BoJack Horseman was really, really good, so well written, and not at all what you expect when first you start the series.
No,
Like I had
exactly.
to really twist your arm for you to start watching it
Yeah.
with me. You did
Sorry.
not want to at first, but
I thought it was so weird with these, like, some of them were like humans and some of them were like humanoid animals, and I couldn't understand why, how could this be funny and everything, but then we started watching it and we started getting into, and I think in the start it's very funny and it's kind of like, yeah, it's funny, they are hitting some nice points throughout the series, and then it's just getting a turn to the darker and darker side and dealing a lot with mental health and the whole like fame and different kinds of mental illnesses and personal struggles and all this, and I just thought it was so amazingly done.
yes.
And I think they have been so respectful, and they have been addressing all of these fantastic I mean, I wouldn't say problems, but like challenges that both we face as individuals, but also what we face as a society, and how we progress as a society. And I just think I'm just so blown away by it, especially that episode with BoJack Horseman's mom.
Free Churro. That's the one where he's talking at her.
It's the one where we see everything through her perspective.
Oh, I think it was
I
probably
think
not Free
it's
Churro, but one of the ones before that. But yes, some of they got really deep and dark and very real, and that is something, as you said, that series was just able to do and use these crazy characters and animals and everything and its cliches, and just using that to dive into a story that just felt very real, and it was just delving into stuff that we all struggle with once in a while, and especially with depression and anxiety, because we all get that at some point, just on different levels, and
addiction sometimes. A lot of
addictions,
people.
and I think like we're not from Hollywood obviously, or anything like that, but just from what I've heard, the series, how it was able to portray that whole society and the celebrity world, Hollywood, and they did a really good job of that, and how desperate people can get for attention, or just all the facets of being a human in these situations.
And
is something that a series about animals did very well. Sorry.
Yeah, and I just think that when we have a hero, like a hero, of course he's not a hero, he's like more like an anti-hero, but we have like a protagonist as BoJack Horseman. He is so flawed as a person, but throughout the series he really tries to do what's best. Yeah. And I just think that the way that he's portrayed as this not at all perfect human being, and I don't even think he will ever get perfect. Like, he won't, and we also get to understand why he won't become perfect and why he's actually just a huge jackass through the whole thing.
Yeah, it's also what he's been through and what made him the way he was.
Yeah.
And it's very reminiscent, to me at least, of another series that I watched a lot at one point, and I even have a small little tattoo up here too from that series. It's Californication with Hank Moody, and he kind of reminds me, him and BoJack sometimes, that there's something there with what they go through, and they're definitely not the best of people, and they fuck up all the time. They hurt people, but just what they go through, and it's still very real, and there's some similarities there. Sorry. Sorry, I can. Yeah, it's Sir Percelot. I was reading it internally. That doesn't work when you're doing a live stream. I am agoraphobic and sociophobic and deal with heavy mood swings and insomnia. And have to say, like some others here, that your vids really help in such dark nights to calm the mind and help relax. Oh,
Thank you,
dude. If we can do anything to help, that's yeah. And yeah, he continues, especially with my disorders, you can't help yourself but think that all people are cold and evil, and your honest and emotional reactions help to fight that thinking. Oh, that's, if we can in any way brighten up your day, yeah, that means the world to us that we're able to do that.
and as someone who suffered a lot from mental mental illnesses myself, I also struggled a lot with depression and different forms of anxiety, especially social phobia as well. I always get a little bit more. I always get very touched by people reaching out and telling us about their stories, because I know it's like I can relate so much to that, and just that I help someone. I can't fathom that I can't fathom that I'm helping other people, and I feel like I'm not even doing anything, and it's
just talking helps, and I get that as well from a lot of the streamers and YouTubers that I watch, especially I mentioned them, like the Schmoes, Schmodown Entertainment Network, Schmodown, you know, yeah, Harlow and Ellis, anything with those guys I watch a lot, and those are kind of, I feel like those are my peers, and I can relate to them and talk about stuff that they talk about, and I like to hear their opinions and stuff, and they calm me down and gives me hope that there are good people out there, and just seeing all of your comments, and yeah, that's it gives me the same feeling, and thank you. This is almost like therapy in these crazy times, that we can sit here and try to talk about stuff that makes us happy, at least, and work through this together.
Yeah,
Yes.
And if you ever feel alone or feeling that
Down,
all
yeah.
hope is lost, know that we are a lot of people out there feeling the same way, that you are never alone.
Yes, exactly, and we will stand together, and we will fight.
We are rooting
all
for
this
you.
shit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have another donation here from Sky. Question for Kat. Without revealing what actually happens, which are the moments in Naruto you're the most excited for Sonny to see? Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Something coming up soon? Or
Yeah,
we'll have to
actually, the arc we're watching right now with
Yeah.
Sabusa.
Yeah.
Sabusa? That guy. It's really good, and I'm really looking forward to watching it with Sonny, because I think it's a very nice introduction into this whole crazy world of Naruto, and because I think that's where you really set the tone for you learning about all of these people, and you learn what they go through, and how what kind of problems in this world that are occurring. Yeah. And this first arc is really exceptional at that. And it really shows a lot of, I'm sorry if I'm spoiling anything, but it shows a lot of growth of Naruto in particular. And yeah, that's why it's really good as well. And then I'm really looking forward to... yeah, it's really hard to say something without spoiling, but
That's it.
that's it. Oh, it's really hard, because I can't really say much about it.
No, but something is coming up soon.
Yeah, very soon. Like
yes.
we're actually starting on that one.
All right.
And of course, like major things happening up in the future. I'm not gonna say too much. I can't say anything at all. Really.
No. It seems like that. Let's just jump on to the next donation here, the next question, and that is from Peter Run again. All right, question here. Stuck in lockdown. Internet goes down during crisis. You have a chance to order 3 DVDs before it does. What do you pick? Okay, so I'm guessing the question here is like the deal here is you can only watch 3 things for the duration of the lockdown, no matter like how long that is.
Can you say something?
Yes.
You said pain, and I'm saying yes, very much, very, very, very much, and everything before that. Yes.
All right, that was something for Ravenous Rambler, and I think yes. Okay. You got it.
You know what I mean.
All right. Sorry. Well, okay. 3 DVDs. I think should we try to figure out if we had to make a decision, the 2 of us, so like we have to agree on 3 DVDs.
I don't think we can.
All right, but I'm thinking at least Return of the King, extended version. So there's at least 4.5 hours there. So I don't know if that's cheating. So yes, that one, and then if we're just going with stuff that I love and I can always watch, then for me, yeah, it would be Return of the King, Empire Strikes Back, and The Dark Knight.
It is a good one, yeah, definitely a good.
I think so. I might. I also want to put some Tarantino in there. No, Inglourious Bastards, that would be a good one as well. Pulp Fiction, maybe. It's hard. It's really hard.
Oh, and now it's like I'm thinking about something Disney, but it's really hard because it's like I have like 10 favorite Disney movies.
Sorry, someone is asking me when was the last time I clean shaved my beard. I don't remember.
Anakin. Right?
Oh yeah, it might have. No, I didn't even do the whole. I just trimmed it as much as I possibly could. I think the last time I did like a whole clean, it might have been like my dad's wedding all the way back in 2009 or something. I don't look good without a beard. I don't think so, at least. So I'm always keeping the beard on. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, with the Mulan thing, it's I love it to pieces, but I also really love Hercules, and I love Up. I know it's like a Disney Pixar movie, so it's like it's kind of both. I also really like a Goofy movie.
Oh yeah.
So it's
Goofy
like
movie.
I can't really choose because they're very different, and I love them. And yeah, you kind of put that one on yourself with the internet.
Oh yeah. Everybody's giving us their 3. What? Ah, okay. Ironically, my internet crashed briefly just after posting that question. Oh. Yeah, that is ironic. But yeah, tell us. You like if you guys had to choose 3 DVDs, 3 movies. I'm guessing it can be like a series on a DVD as well, just like 1 season or something maybe.
Okay, then you know my third choice.
To bring. Parks and Rec.
Scrubs.
Oh, Scrubs. Yeah.
Or maybe Parks and Rec. I don't know. Then it would be Parks and Rec season 3 because I think season 3 is like the best one.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, that's when Ben and Chris.
Oh yeah. Maybe a Hayao Miyazaki, of course.
Oh yeah.
And that's the question. Though? Yeah, exactly. That's the question because I love Totoro, My Neighbor Totoro.
Yeah.
I love Princess Mononoke. I love
Howling Castle.
Howl's Moving Castle.
Howling Castle. I just put them together. Yes.
And I love Spirited Away. So it's I couldn't choose one of those either.
And yes, Ravenous Rambler, I have seen Princess Mononoke, and
I tried to pull him through some of the big movies.
Yeah, exactly. She showed me them, and I still have a couple of them to watch still. It seems like some like Primark, yeah, agrees with me. Dark Knight, seen it 50+ times. Tropic Thunder and Wall-E. Oh yeah, Tropic Thunder. That is
hilarious.
fucking hilarious. That I'm still amazed at that movie ever. Like, how did that work? How were they able to
Sell it?
Sell it exactly. Like, even though it was all the way back in 2008, like Robert Downey Jr. still technically did blackface, but it all worked out. It's a great movie. It's really fun.
I'm just trying to gather some, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. See if we have some more Streamlabs here. Otherwise, I think like we've been going on for 2 hours and 15 minutes now. That is a long stream, even like by streaming standards. I think that is a very long stream. I was not expecting us. I was not prepared to do more than 1 hour, maybe 1.5 hours, but 2 hours and 15 minutes, man. That's a long stream, and I think that yeah, we've gone through all of the stuff that we wanted to talk about when it comes to series and what we've been through. Oh, someone is mentioning The Big Lebowski. Yeah, that's a real good choice as well. Just reminds you of like how many good movies, how much good content is out there. Yeah, so much good stuff. Yeah, do you have anything you wanna get into or mention before we end the stream? And I just want to say real quick that since we are going to end the stream very soon, then please don't submit any more questions on Streamlabs, because then we're not going to be able to get to them. Or if you do, we'll get to them the next time around in our next stream. And hopefully this is going to become a weekly thing.
Yeah, we are aiming for it.
We're aiming for doing like at least one stream a week, and then maybe getting to a point where we can do multiple ones. And as we also mentioned, we want to do some podcast stream stuff about like where we dive into like specific subjects like Star Wars or The Expanse or something gaming related, maybe. Or a real world topic as well. We can also do that.
Yeah, of course.
But yes, we want to do more of this.
Of course, you can't talk a lot about like real life stuff. Like I have a lot of biochemistry. You know, like I've studied for 5 years.
Yeah.
So of course I can always talk about biochemistry, but you can't really.
No, I can't join in that conversation. So it's going to have to be something we can.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I meant. That of course I'm always willing to talk about my education and everything I learned, but I don't want to do that to you.
Yeah. Sorry, people just keep mentioning movies here, and it pops up, and I'm like, oh yeah, that one as well. So like, Last of the Mohicans, Daniel Day-Lewis, great role, and then just mentioning Daniel Day-Lewis, I immediately think of There Will Be Blood, because holy shit, Daniel playing you, one of the most scary fictional characters ever. And Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, that might be one of my favorite movies with Robert Downey Jr. It's really good. Shane Black directed that one. Yeah, real good. The same guy who did Nice Guys, which is a movie I really enjoy as well. We can keep talking about movies. Someone needs to stop me. So we're just gonna sign off here, I think. Yes, we'll do a last cheers for all of you guys, and we hope you're all staying safe. And thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, clank clank.
You're really awesome.
Yeah, we freaking love you guys, and we love that you want to spend time with us here this Saturday, morning, evening, whatever it is, where you are. For us, at least, it is. What time is it now? It's 9:30. Yeah, 9:30. So the stream was a little bit delayed, but that was because of all the sound issues and everything that happened up top. But hopefully, next time we do this, it'll be even better, and maybe we will have figured out how we can use the Canon camera, and then the quality will be better. But it actually looks pretty fine, I think, compared to the last one, maybe.
Yeah, compared to the last one.
Yeah, but
it's
the lighting
definitely-
did something there, so we
Yeah.
need to remember to do something about the lighting. Yes, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys so much for watching our live stream, our second live stream, and we can't wait to do many more of these in the future with all of you guys. Thank you so much for everything. Yeah, thank you. We're just gonna end it on that. Thank you, and more.